Io ho avuto modo di incontrare più volte il leader e di legarmi a lui da una vera e profonda amicizia. Al leader riconosco una grande saggezza e riconosco che tutto ciò che lui è venuto dicendomi nelle crisi internazionali sono sempre state delle posizioni che fotografavano esattamente la realtà e che prevedevano con altrettanta esattezza lo sviluppo che poi si sarebbe determinato.
The human rights situation in Libya is very difficult. In fact, it's dire. In terms of freedom of expression, Libyan legislation criminalizes any kind of peaceful dissent. So someone who speaks against the Libyan leader or against the revolution that brought him to power 40 years ago can be sentenced to life imprisonment, or someone who tries to have an independent organization, a political party, can be sentenced to death. What kind of crimes? It's applied very widely, various drug offences, but also crimes, and I use quotation marks, such as expressing an opinion that is contrary to the status quo. In terms of the Libyan authorities' promises to reduce the number of offences that can be punishable to death has not materialized yet, and certainly the number of offences that are existent in Libyan legislation do not meet Libya's international standards to reduce the scope of the applicability of the death penalty. Well, the situation of refugees, asylum seekers and migrants in Libya is quite dire. They live in constant fear. They live in constant fear of being arrested and detained indefinitely at any moment in detention centers that are very overcrowded, unhygienic, where they're exposed to beatings and torture, where they're not provided with health care. They live in constant fear even outside of detention of being abused by other regular citizens who take advantage of their situation because they know that they will never complain to the police in fear of being detained. Then, of course, they cannot seek international protection because there is no asylum procedure in Libya. The UNHCR, which used to operate and provide some refugee status until June of this year, has been forced to suspend this kind of activities and now can only deal with resettlement cases. We've sent the report before publishing it to the Libyan authorities as well to give them an opportunity to respond to any concerns, to clarify their point of view. We haven't heard a response. After the report was published, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responded in a very public way, issuing a statement saying that Amnesty doesn't understand the political system in Libya, this is based on false information, but Libya is welcoming another Amnesty International delegation to find out the truth, and I quote. So, of course, we have followed up with a formal request to go back to Libya, including to go to Kufra and other remote areas where many violations are reported to take place, but where there's absolutely no observed, which raises the question about Libya's willingness to have international scrutiny of its human rights record. I mean, as Amnesty International, we have called on Italy, but on the EU in general, which is negotiating a framework agreement on Libya, which also includes a component on collaborating in the migration asylum field, is to ensure that any kind of agreement with Libya includes real human rights safeguards beyond rhetoric. In the meantime, we also have asked the Libyan authorities publicly as Amnesty International to comply by their obligations to provide access to asylum to individuals that they intercept at sea.
Il trattato è un figlio unico che ha molti padri, che gli storici certamente ricorderanno come il punto finale a un contenzioso di natura storica e che le organizzazioni per i diritti umani rischiano di ricordare come il punto di partenza di prassi violatrici dei diritti umani da parte dell'Italia, con questa stagione di respingimenti che si è aperta poco dopo la firma del trattato e che secondo fonti ufficiali ha fatto sì che più di 1 migliaio di persone, donne e bambini inclusi, con ogni probabilità richiedenti asilo o potenziali rifugiati, venissero respinti in Libia verso un destino di nuove violazioni dei diritti umani, quali la detenzione e la tortura.